When a PC gets old and slow, what do we usually do? Upgrade the CPU, add more RAM, throw in a graphics card, or simply replace it with a new machine? But no, today I'm not doing any of that. Instead, I want to try something much more interesting, turning this 12-year-old PC into an Android machine. To pull this off, we're tinkering with PrimeOS today, an open source custom OS built to bring Android to PCs, complete with a desktop interface, Play Store support, and even Android gaming. But can it actually run smoothly on this old hardware? Let's find out. And this is the Dell OptiPlex 7020. A machine that surely needs no introduction, right? It's so popular that you can find a used one pretty much anywhere. In fact, I've made quite a few videos about it. Make sure to follow the channel to see more of the interesting things I've done with this machine. Released back in 2014, this system is running an i5 4590 CPU with 4 GB of RAM. By today's standards, these specs are nothing impressive. Of course, I could upgrade the CPU, add more RAM, and throw in a low-profile graphics card, but where's the fun in that? That's way too simple. This time, instead of upgrading the hardware, I want to leave everything as is and try something fresh, running Android on this PC. What's cool is that the idea of bringing Android to desktop PCs is getting a ton of attention again. Google is gearing up to launch Aluminum OS, a new platform expected to deliver a much more complete Android desktop experience, with Android 17 being a major part of what's currently in development. But we'll still have to wait and see how that actually turns out. In the meantime, it hit me. There have actually been projects bringing Android to PCs for a while now. Versions like Android x86, Phoenix OS, and Bliss OS have been around, and I've even tested a few of them in previous videos. But today, there's another name I want to try: PrimeOS. Basically, PrimeOS isn't a new operating system. This project popped up a few years ago with the goal of bringing a full-fledged Android experience to PCs, complete with a desktop UI, taskbar, multi-window multitasking, mouse and keyboard support, Google Play Store, and even dedicated gaming features. Interestingly, PrimeOS is so serious about this that they even sell Prime books with PrimeOS pre-installed, aiming to compete as a real laptop OS. They even have version 3.0 based on Android 15 for those machines, though there's no public ISO for it yet. So, the latest version I found on their website is still based on Android 11. Yeah, it's a bit old, but definitely not useless. Android 11 can still run plenty of popular apps and games today. And the best part? PrimeOS doesn't need a powerful PC to run. Minimum requirements are just a 64-bit dual-core CPU, 2 GB of RAM, and 8 GB of storage. Super lightweight on paper, at least that's what they claim. So, can PrimeOS actually bring Android 11 to this old PC and run smoothly? Let's put that to the test right now. To ensure a smooth experience, I'm using this 128GB SATA SSD. It's not top of the line, but it'll certainly deliver stable speeds for this experiment. First, we need to download the PrimeOS Android 11 ISO file and create a bootable USB drive using Rufus. Done. As always, I just plug the bootable drive into a USB port and boot from it. And there it goes. To keep things quick and simple, I'll select the auto install option for the internal drive. Just pick the correct drive for installation. Oh, it's finished already? That took less than a minute. That was ridiculously fast. This is officially the fastest OS installation I've ever done. Now, let's hit reboot. Look at this boot logo. Pretty cool. It feels like I'm booting up the operating system of a spaceship or something. And boom, welcome to PrimeOS. The initial setup process is also extremely simple and quick. It took me literally 3 clicks to wrap it up. Here we go. We're greeted by a full-fledged desktop interface. Honestly, this color scheme matches my whole desk setup pretty well. It looks clean, neat, and minimal. We have the Android Control and Notification Center, as well as a desktop interface featuring an app menu and an intuitive taskbar. Apps open in windowed mode. Resizing windows works smoothly, and the animations are super fluid. This UI actually feels a lot like Samsung DeX, a complete Android desktop environment. Wait, it looks like the mouse scroll direction is inverted. Yep, it's scrolling backward, classic macOS style. I can tweak that in the Prime Hub section inside the settings menu. Alright, fixed. No more inverted scrolling. Overall, it's a pretty promising start, but looks aren't everything. Before we dive into more tinkering, I want to test how long this thing actually takes to boot up. Timing from the moment I hit the power button, it takes us about 32 seconds to reach the desktop. If we ignore the 13 seconds spent on the initial boot menu, the system boots up fully in just around 19 seconds. PrimeOS is ridiculously lightweight. Not only was the setup blazing fast, but the boot speed is pretty impressive too. Everything feels a lot like a traditional desktop. Apps open in windowed mode, making it easy to switch back and forth, minimize, or maximize with smooth animations. What's cool is that I can actually press Alt+Tab to multitask just like on Windows, smoothly cycling through open apps. And it even has a clear all button to kill all running apps at once, keeping that authentic Android feel. Pretty awesome stuff. However, nothing is absolutely perfect. Screen brightness can't be adjusted through the control center since we're using an external monitor. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth aren't working either because this PC simply doesn't have those chips built in. If this were a laptop, they'd probably work just fine. So I'll be sticking with Ethernet. Wired is more stable anyway. Alright, now I'm going to sign into Google and install some essential apps from the Play Store to see what Android 11 on PrimeOS can actually do on this old PC. First, I'm using the Dev Info app to check the overall system specs. Right now, the single 4GB RAM stick is sitting at around 35% usage. We've got Android 11 and all hardware information is accurate. Temperatures are pretty cool at around just over 40 degrees Celsius. This app also lets us display real-time CPU and RAM usage directly on screen for easy monitoring. Sweet! Now on to Chrome. Heading over to Reddit, the page loads super fast and scrolls smoothly. RAM usage is sitting just above 40%, around 1.6 gigabytes. Totally solid. Adding a YouTube tab, video plays good, audio works, and this legendary OptiPlex actually has a built-in mono speaker. Yeah, the sound quality is pretty terrible, but hey, better than nothing. However, I don't know how to adjust the volume on this speaker since we don't have any volume keys. Luckily, I found the volume panel in the control center. A bit clunky, but at least it gets the job done. YouTube playback performance inside Chrome is impressive. 1440p plays smoothly. Even when I push it up to 4K 2160p, it still holds up. A few minor stutters, but nothing deal-breaking, completely watchable. Adding a wiki tab, no issues at all. Throwing in a Google Maps tab, still running fine. At this point, the 4GB of RAM is only sitting at around 60% usage. Totally solid. Switching back and forth between tabs is super smooth, and returning to the home screen, then reopening Chrome causes zero lag. It seems PrimeOS has optimized Android 11 to run quite efficiently on PC, making it very RAM efficient. And what really surprised me is that everyday apps like YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Telegram can still be installed and used. Even though it's getting old, Android 11 isn't truly outdated yet, and most popular apps today still support it. Netflix, however, is a completely different story. The moment I open it up, it instantly crashes. PrimeOS is likely missing some necessary DRM certifications for Netflix to run. A pretty common issue with custom Android builds for PC like this. Now for the most anticipated part, gaming performance. PrimeOS features a gaming center to optimize games and handle mouse and keyboard mapping. You can even set custom performance profiles for each game. Subway Surfers runs super smooth. I can swipe with the mouse or use the keyboard comfortably, and every input feels snappy. Great experience overall. Fruit Ninja is solid too. Every slice feels just as smooth as back in the day. Wow, total nostalgia moment. It's been ages since I last played these. Next up is Grim Valor, a hack and slash title with pretty nice 3D graphics. I pressed F10 to bring up the key mapping menu and quickly assign the controls. Since it's fairly demanding, there are occasional stutters, but it's still totally playable. Moving on to Free Fire, a popular battle royale shooter. PrimeOS even has pre-mapped controls ready on screen. But for some reason, despite waiting nearly half an hour, the game gets stuck at 40% on the loading screen. Guess this is one of those compatibility quirks custom Android OS just can't avoid. Testing a bit of console emulation with RetroArch, it works quite well. Lightweight retro systems like NES or PS1 run super smooth, making for a solid experience. So after all these tests, PrimeOS really took me by surprise. Even running on an old PC with just 4 GB of RAM, everything worked smoothly and handled basic tasks well. Gaming performance was solid and mouse and keyboard support was excellent. If this were Windows 10, 4 GB of RAM would be a total nightmare. Of course, there are still a few compatibility issues, but overall, it was a more enjoyable experience than I expected. So what do you think about PrimeOS? Is it worth a try? Let me know in the comments.